hit heavy when the screens light up. Silence in the room, but the numbers talk rough. Red and green flicker like a warning sign. Every second calls when you're running out of time. This ain't hype, this is pressure and math. One wrong red, turn the wind to the past. No applause in the middle of pain, just conviction, risk, and the way to the game. It's the hour the lies fall apart. When the trend get exposed and the weak lose heart. You don't guess here, you commit or you fold. Every candle printed gotta earn its control. Power hour, yeah, the room get cold. Liquidity shift, watch the story unfold. No comfort trades, no second chance. When the clock start ticking, better know your stand. Power hour where the noise get cut.
Well, hello everyone. I tried to have a starting screen, but apparently the music wasn't playing in the background. We'll have to get that fixed next time. But thank you everyone for tuning in to the brand new show here on Piper Academy. It is called The Power Hour. Here we'll be focused mostly on why things happen, why the price reacted the way it did, how liquidity gets built, more of the psychology behind the move. That way, you can work to build up trading better than you were yesterday. And so that tomorrow you can be better than you are today. Also, I want to have a little segment where with you guys, we work to build a trading strategy together. So that'll be something today. We will take some questions on some indicators that we would like to use to build a strategy up together. And then going forward, we will have JR in here and we will work to build up a trading strategy together. That way, going forward, you know how to build new trade strategies. Also, I want to have a little bit of a segment with JR every Tuesday and Thursdays where we focus on more of a TA time. So we will focus on more of the degen type assets. We will focus on making money on those. So I also want to have a QA section of the show. I will open up a area in the chat when we get closer to that time where you can ask questions. This show is really geared toward helping you be able to look at a chart and know how I would look at it or how JR would look at it so that you don't necessarily need us if we miss a show or something like that. So we will have a Q&A section every single day where we answer absolutely any question you have. So now that I got that introduction out of the way, let's dive into what we are looking at today. Let me get over to my screen share section. Here we go. Got that screen share all pulled up. And let's dive on into what we're looking at here in today's markets. We have been seeing quite the moves today. Started off to the downside this morning. Asia had a very harsh sell-off. London got a little bit of that recovery there. Today, we're seeing Apple up 2.9%. We got Berkshire Hathaway up 0.8%. Nvidia still seeing some sell-off. We've got Amazon up 1.74%. Eli Lilly up 0.71%. ExxonMobil seeing some pretty harsh sell-off. We will talk some about that tomorrow morning on the morning market report. We've been seeing some news come out of Venezuela that's really affecting those oil prices. We've got Tesla down a full percent right now. P&G sitting up 0.72. Microsoft down 1.45. We got Google up 1.73. We got Meta sitting down 0.47. Hopping over to some of the other assets that we love to look at around here, we've got gold still really sitting to the downside, down 5% right now. Let's get that chart pulled on up here. As you can see, very harsh sell off, really accelerated during that Asia session last night. We've got silver down 7%, really close to an area that we were looking for some support there. We'll get into the breakdown of why some of this happened here in a little bit. We've got the S&P 500 doing quite well, still on its little bit of an uptrend here. Dow Jones still in that uptrend. We've got the Russell 2000 made a new all-time high, still holding that uptrend. Bitcoin, on the other hand, ranging a little bit sideways down here in a new range. Let's get over to that alt tab here. We've got Ethereum down as well, really below an area we were looking for some support, broke through it, now looking like a resistance area here. Market in general pretty much sitting a little bit to the downside. We'll kind of break down some of the psychology behind that in just a second. Let me get my browser pulling on up. Apparently it was not pulled up in the background, and break down some of what we were looking at on the crypto side of things, because we did see a little bit of some movements there, and we really want to get into this fear and greed. And today we've got that stock market a little bit towards the upside as we're seeing a little bit of recovery over there. Crypto side of things still in some extreme fear. And this is not too unexpected when we have this massive sell off. As you can see, some of these crypto users saying buy the dip, time for a reality check here. Zoom on out, talking about the Clarity Act. We're seeing quite a bit of confusion in the market. And normally this tends to lead you towards some fear. That's something that this user kindly highlights, is that you normally buy when the market is a little more fearful and you sell when the market is a little more greedy. And we'll kind of get into that here in just a second. So, if we have an asset that someone would like me to take a look at with a naked chart, go ahead and throw that on out, and we will get into some of this psychology here, break down some of that support and resistance, along with the fear and greed of that, and kind of go from bare bones to how you would look at that chart and build it up into something where you have the information on it. So, someone throw an asset out there for me, and we will start from zero there. Also, towards the end of the show, if we got a little bit of time, we will take a look at some assets that you guys would like me to take a look at, kind of see what we'd be looking at for tomorrow. If we don't get a request here in a second, I'll just pull up a random asset that I've probably never done some TA on. So let's give it a second there. I know that chat is a little bit delayed sometimes. Let's get over to our power hour chart though, and see if we have an asset requested. I'll give it a second. Might have to get some music playing in the background here. Build up some more music so that we can have some background music. Let's see. Solana. There we go. Let's pull up a Solana chart. Let's make this a little more naked here and go from bare bones. Actually, let me just do this easier. Horizontal array, remove, and remove. All right. So here is our more naked chart. And so what we kind of want to look for on price reactions when we get to certain areas is going to be support first. We've been in that downtrend. And what we want to look for is that first area that we can kind of look for along. A lot of this is going to be, you're a little bit greedy here. And this is why we like to sell that greed, because this is normally what happens afterwards. You got that little bit of a sell off. Market's a little bit scared right there. A little bit of a relief in there. You kind of tick back up a little bit on that fear and greed meter before you really build up that whole fear all over again. A very quick way to do that, you've got that buy the fear, you sell that greed, you buy more of the fear. You wouldn't get as much there, but you're building it up all over again. Really, really shaking out some of these markets. That first area we'd kind of like to look for some support at for a potential long term one would be down here, where we see a lot of price reacting at, really holding up in that area. A lot of wicks in this area right here at about 119. You go for the bottom side of that, and it looks like that's also an area where we saw price get a little bit of a bounce. Next real area down there, gonna be way down here. Let me get that magnet off. That thing is annoying sometimes. Down here at 94-ish dollars, 94.70. Looks like that's right about where we found that support there. A lot of this is coming in as the market is extremely fearful. So, building that all up together, you've got that harsh sell off looking like it's coming in about, let's see, total move here, about a 35% move. These are moves that you kind of look for quite a bit, very close to that normal ratio that we look at, the 382. That's a 38% move towards the downside. Very close to that. This is normally when you kind of look for a little bit of an entry. So, next thing we kind of want to see here is what is that next full area between our start point and our end point way up here. I don't like to call bottoms and tops, but they are useful when you're trying to pull up some of these areas here. So, nice bottom to top fib retracement. Looks like we're halfway between our golden pocket and that platinum pocket area. So, trying to see if we can find a little bit of a support area here. We've probably got a little bit of liquidity residing underneath this area as well. So, we do want to keep that in mind, especially if some of our oscillators are not exactly bottoms. Here on the higher term time frame, you could probably see just a little bit of bottoming. Let's get that pulled on up. See if we're actually looking at a little bit of bottoming here. Uh, Market Oracle Pro. Let's see. We'll go with the plus here. Let's get our volume off of here. We don't need that. We'll see the, nope, that is not the one I wanted. So let me go into my tab there, find the other indicators. Market Oracle Prime Oscillator Pro Plus. There we go. And there we go. We can see a little bit of bottoming here along with the fear. But the big worry that we're going to have here is going to be any liquidity that is trapped underneath our support area. This is going to be a downside pressure on top of all the other bottoming signals. This is a big reason why when you see this support here along our golden pocket, you get this big wick below it. That's to grab up all of that liquidity. What we'd kind of want to watch for here in this area is that potential for that next real wick towards the downside. So even though things might look extremely bottomed, you've got a lot of fear in the markets. So you got some people that are really tempted to long here. You want to be aware that you could still have that downside pressure because there is a lot of liquidity underneath this area. And I can tell that just by looking at the chart here. I know sometimes people like to pull up those liquidation heat maps and really draw up that liquidity area, but an easy way to kind of find that out is this a big area where we've seen support before? Yes. Okay. Well, then people have probably longed in this area. They might not have got the exact bottom here, which it's pretty common that you don't exactly hit that bottom, but there was a lot of buying pressure here in this area. And a lot of these people are going to place their stop losses underneath. So, buildup of a large area of liquidity. And that's why you see those giant wicks like this here. That's why you see this giant sell off below our lows here, which got all of the liquidity that would have been residing underneath this wick. This is a big part of what really keeps those downtrends going towards the downside. A lot of this move towards the downside has just been that grab up liquidity. Oh, we made more liquidity down here. Grab up the liquidity. Keep anyone out of the trade that entered in here late with that move towards the upside. Force them out so you can continue towards the downside. So when we get to this area here, is it easier for that price to reverse back towards the upside here? Is it going to take more buying pressure and more money and more volume to try to push this back up, clear anyone out? Or is it going to be easier to just hold off and allow them to push that price lower to grab up the liquidity so that they exit their trade and now you can push it up with less effort? So, a lot of this is that psychology that we're going to be breaking down in more depth here on the Power Hour. This was more of just a teaser. I don't want to go full balls to the wall here today. We will save that one for tomorrow when we actually have JR on the show. A little bit of TA, but mostly we want to talk about the why and the how and potentially what to look for when we get to those areas. So, hopefully, you guys enjoyed a little bit of that. And going forward, if there's other things that you would like me to bring on up when we're talking about the psychology, go ahead, let me know in the chats. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later. A lot of these shows will be more open to being able to be watched later. You don't have to watch it live. It won't be as time critical. You can just learn and add, add some tools to your indicator toolbox or your psychology toolbox. Uh, so hopefully, you enjoy what you saw there. We got several people here in the chat for the new show. Let me see who's in here. Let's get over to that single screen, see what's going on in the chat. We've got Robert Mulligan first in the house. I appreciate you tuning on in here today. We got Crypto Trades 888 saying, let's get it. Mab the Great in here. Appreciate you tuning on in this afternoon. Curtis Hill in the house. Letting me know he couldn't hear the music. Thank you for that. I will get that fixed for future episodes. We got Silver Days XRP in the house. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're having a great day. Curtis Hill giving me that thumbs up. Let's see. Steve Hickey in the house. Good morning or good afternoon. I'm used to saying good morning because normally I went live bright and early there. Let's see. Steve Hickey saying like number 5 is his. I appreciate it. Donato Cabrera in the house. Good afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see. That was Furniture Guy. Brand new name to me. I appreciate you tuning on in today. Welcome to the Piper Academy. I see you got that membership all set in the house. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're having a great day. Al Jr. in here. Good afternoon. I appreciate you tuning on in today. I see XRP asked for, so closer to the end of the show, we can take a quick look at some XRP, see what we'd be looking for. I know they had quite the move around a lot of XRP news that was going out there. So might have to dive into some of that tomorrow morning on that morning market report because we were seeing quite a bit of news coming out about XRP, but we can take a look at that chart here in a little bit. Let's see. Al Jr. said damp it. Hey, that's kind of a lot of the sentiment that I was having. We were looking this morning at some downside action. And we've also got a lot of liquidity on the bottom side on a lot of these charts here, which could definitely push us just a little bit lower, really clear out some of these bears that have been absolutely happy with this downside action so that they can have that pressure back towards the upside. We've got New Earth Guardian in the house. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're having a great Monday. Brand new show here on the Piper Academy. We're going to be calling it the Power Hour. So I gave a little bit of a teaser about what we'd be doing here on the Piper Academy here on the Power Hour, and a lot more, and a lot more of that is just going to be breaking down how we actually look at a chart, why the move that we just saw happened the way that it did, how the move might happen after that. More so, less TA, more on the how and the why. So hopefully everyone is enjoying that for now. I know most people are just a TA guy here on YouTube, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different because I might have to take a break here from YouTube, and I would like people to have some tools that took me a long time to build up. We will get into liquidity traps tomorrow. I talked with JR over the weekend, and that's kind of that first thing that we really want to talk about: liquidity, how liquidity is built, how you use liquidity to make traps. Kind of a situation that we're sitting in right now, where even though things look like they might be bottomed, you might not actually be bottomed. And I know people talk a lot about how liquidity isn't always a great indicator. Let's get my screen share here in a second as I get that liquidation heat map pulled on up, because I've heard it quite a bit. You leave the liquidity open, so liquidity isn't always a great tool to use. Let's get that pulled on up here. I'll do a little bit of a teaser about what we're going to be talking about tomorrow when it comes to liquidity. Got to zoom this on out to a slightly higher time frame here. 4 hour CVD just rejected the flip. Uh, is that I'm assuming that's crypto there. So let's get this to a higher term time frame here. And this right here is what we're talking about. We got that harsh move towards the downside, but we left a lot of this liquidity open. And we will talk about the psychology of why that happens. Why with, let's see, 20, 40, 75, like $100 million down here, over $100 million, and they would just leave that open. And we'll talk a little bit about why they would do that, why a market maker would push the price down, but then leave over $100 million just open to be taken still and push that price back up. So that's kind of what tomorrow's show will be about. You'll also get a whole lot more charting tomorrow with JR and taking a look at some degen assets. So hopefully that will be a much more fun show, and we will dive a little bit further into the show. This is just kind of more of a rough outline, give y'all an idea of what to expect going forward here on the Power Hour. What you all set, celebrities stopping in. Oh, yep. All the normal people stopping in today. We got Curtis Hill. It's his friends. Oh, let's see. We wanted to kind of go into another thing that we'd be looking for here on the Piper Academy, here on the Power Hour, and that's going to be building up a trading strategy. So we will have a segment in each show where we progressively build up that trading strategy with you. So let me know what kind of indicators you guys would like to see used to build up a trading strategy here in the chat. I will get those on my list here. And we will use those to build up a trading strategy together so that going forward, you have that strategy in your toolkit, that when this and this and this indicator hit, that you have a high likelihood of making a successful trade. Another part of here, what we'll do on the power hour is some live trading. So me and JR talked about it. We'll have an account that we use to live trade with you guys. We might make some games out of it as well, maybe a little bit of a competition, me versus JR. We'll just have to see how that all plays out together. So let me get this volume profile. All right, I like that one. Let me get that on the list down here at the bottom. I see volume profile. We can get that on there. And any other indicators, I think CVD and confluence with 5 minute. 5 minute is the high. CVD is the highest probability. Let's see. Are you talking about an indicator there for the CVD? Let me see if there's any other indicators y'all want to use for our trading strategy, and then also kind of pick out a time frame. Do we want this to be a shorter term time frame uh, asset, or a trading indicator, uh, a- or a trading strategy, so that we can scalp? Do we want this to be a longer term time frame trading strategy, something we can use on the 4 hour, so we can trade for a few days? We take the trade, leave it open for a while. CVD is the indicator. All right. I can get that one on the list there as well. CVD. When you get it, hook me up. Let's see. I need an indicator that tells me, hey, dummy, buy, then hey, dummy, sell. Well, actually, this is something that we can teach you here on the Power Hour. I have coded a few indicators myself that actually just let me know when a buy signal is flashing according to my trading strategy. That's something we can actually break down here. Show you guys how you use PineScript to have your trade strategy show you on the trading view chart when you enter a trade. So that's something we can build that up together with our trading strategy, and then we'll show you how we get that all done on trading view. And you can actually, depending on what which exchange you're using, actually have that enter the trade for you. So that's one of the big reasons that I loved Blowfin. Was Blowfin allows you to use webhooks. TradingView allows you to create webhooks. So using PineScript made my trade strategy. When my trade strategy flashed a buy indicator, it would send a webhook to Blowfin that would just automatically enter the trade. So that is something we can all do here together. And if you don't have Blowfin, I believe we have a link in our description here. Let me check. Do we got a Blowfin link? Yes, we have a Blowfin link down below. So if you don't have Blowfin, definitely check that out. And that will allow you to create those webhooks so that once we have that strategy all built up, you can just automate a little bit of your trading. And it, instead of having to really be like, okay, well, the indicator said buy, let me go over there and buy. It'll just take care of that for you. So that's another thing we can do here. I saw a volume profile and the CVD indicator. So we got any other ones that we want to take a look at for our trading strategy? If so, get that out there, and we can use as many as you guys want to, as few as you guys want to. I like to use about 4 to 5. That way I have some confluence in my trade strategy. And let's see, CVD indicator. We got volume profile, and we got any other ones that we want to use for this. Cumulative volume delta. All right. Let's see. Let me actually throw that here on this CVD. We will favorite that there. Let's get a volume profile as well. Actually, let me get my screen share all pulled up here. There we go. Let's make this chart a little more naked. Get that fib retracement off. Get those horizontal rays off. Get that prime oscillator pro hidden. Let's see. We've got our volume delta that we wanted to take a look at. So let's get that indicator on there, cumulative volume delta, and then we wanted a volume profile. Is this the full one on Solana? That's Coinbase. Awesome. We can use that. That has the volume profile. So we can use those volume profiles in accordance with this here to build up that trade strategy to see when would be those best times to enter. Looks like we're having a high volume on the bottom side there. Not too surprising when you're seeing this harsh sell-off. What we still haven't found out is do we want a scalping strategy or do we want more of a swing strategy that we build up together? So you guys let me know. Are y'all scalpers or are you swingers? So let's see what y'all say. Oh, a little bit of a gap there, filled the gap. Let's get our volume profile on here. Don't use it very often, so where is it here? Nope, not that one. There we go. Fixed range volume profile. Let's see in the shorter term time frame what we're looking at here. There we go. Looking like we rejected off of the top side, smashed through the bottom side there too. So this is a more of a shorter term time frame. If we were wanting to scalp, looking like we could find that in accordance with each other there. Because look at this nice little indication here. This is a nice little sideways range there at 2 along the top side. So we'd have to build up a little bit of a strategy to figure out when we're going to see this move right here. Might not catch the whole thing, but we could catch most of the move. Looks like very nicely on a shorter term time frame to catch that scalp there. So still not seeing if y'all want to scalp or if you want to swing, but we can build up more of a scalping at first and then go from there. I don't use a volume profile very often, but looking like it might be a nice one to build that up with in accordance with that other indicator there. Let's get a daily time frame pulled on up. See what's going on the higher term. We'll go through here, see what's going on through this whole range. There we go. Really rejected off that middle there through our middle, lost the bottom. So might work a little bit on the higher term time frames too. So we will just have to build this one up together. Looks like y'all might not care whether we do a swinging strategy or a scalping strategy. So we can try to build up both there. So after that, I would like to do QA sessions as well. I'm short XRP 1645. Well, here in a second, we will take a look at that XRP chart. I will bring this up real quick. Q&As. And there we go. Ask me anything. And then there we go on that. So we'll bring up a Q&A like this, where you can just click ask something And with both me and JR, you can ask your question and we will answer it to the best of our abilities. Looks like we want to scalp. Steve Hickey said scalp. So we will try scalp and build that one up there. I'm sure that's where JR is going to shine as well, building a scalping strategy with you. So we'll do something like this every single show where we have an ask me anything. If we don't get any questions, that just is what it is. But we would like to open the floor up to everyone to ask questions so that you can get what you would like to know answered. So, uh, uh, I've got a plethora of knowledge on the macro side of things. JR's really, really good on the scalp trading. So together we will try to answer any questions that you guys might have. That'll be more of a shorter segment, and we will try to make it as fun as possible. We also, let's see, what color is a mirror? Well, that's less trading, but technically a mirror is just glass with like a silver surface on it. So I don't know if that's technically a color, but I would guess that would be silver. Let's see. Uh, how long have you been trading all markets? So I started out way back in middle school with a trading challenge in my school. They had something for like the nerdy kids, and actually trading money, I started in high school. So I really, really got interested in trading from that trading challenge that they had. Winner got like a little Chromebook, which, back then Chromebooks were brand new and it was cool. So a lot of fun with that. And I really took that into my own time outside of school, really started researching things, finding out why price reacts the way that it does. I really, really got into economics, started reading a lot of economic books, things like that, to really find out deeper of why price does the things that it does, how economies work, and all of that. And then by the time I got to about junior year of high school, I had my parents open up a trading account for me, since technically I couldn't do it myself. It's not legal. And then around that time as well is when I was getting into Bitcoin. Bitcoin was brand new at that time. It was 2011, and one of my buddies was super big into the dark web, and we both used Bitcoin uh, to buy things that were less than legal. And then that's how my whole Bitcoin journey started. I really researched what Bitcoin was and then why it existed. And this was all right after that 2008 collapse as well. So I really got to live through an interesting time of history, and that really got me into money. So I've been trading since about junior year of high school, and it's been off and on through my early 20s, but I really, really got back into it at about 26, and I'm 30 now. So I've been trading for a while. Took a long time of making some mistakes and paying the market to really figure things out. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk enough about. That, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit of money sometimes to learn how to make some money. Let's see. We had Al Jr. If you're willing for the let me make this screen bigger. I can't read it. I'm blind. It's also not very zoomed in. If you're waiting for the waiter, aren't you the waiter? Oh my goodness. All right. So technically I guess, but those are two different words there. So I'm glad that we had some fun with that one. Hopefully that answered your questions. Let's see, Steve Hickey. Now, do you do this full time? So I work a job in the afternoon, and but in the evenings to kind of just like pay for the normal bills. Um, but I'm going back to school, so this is more of just like a hobby for me. I like to make a little bit of extra money. I'm slowly building my accounts back up. I was very close to full time last cycle, and then I had life happen as life likes to do. And I had to use a lot of my money to, make it to the other side. So, no, I was very close to full time, but that is the eventual goal. I just like to stay busy. So that's the other part of why, the security of having a job and a steady income is really helpful. Whereas it's like I can not really stress about, oh, I need to make money on this trade. It takes a lot of the emotions out of my trading, allows me to have fun with it, but still be profitable. So let's see, Steve Hickey, FYI, if you have plans on just trading for a living, if so, how long do you think it will take to get to that point? Uh, for me specifically, um, honestly, I mostly what I want to do over the next 5 years or so is just build up a big account like I used to have. So I had to spend a lot of money. I had a lot of things that had to get paid for, and I drained my accounts of like $40,000. So I would like to get back around that area, about half $100,000, and I'll probably just go back to full time trading. The having multiples that you can use in your derivatives markets on crypto is really nice, but I also don't like to take all the extra risk. So I also don't want to use like a prop firm, all of that. There's a lot of iffy stuff that goes on with them. So I'd rather just build up my money organically again. Some of that is going to be with getting a better job. That way I can accelerate that. So hopefully here in like the next, like 5 to 6 years, I'm just doing this full time. Uh, uh, so that's my plan for it. I Mostly my big hamper is just the amount of money. It takes a little while to build that back up, but I have been doing a whole lot better than when I first started back out and had to start this all from zero again. So yeah, hopefully here in the next couple of years, I will be doing this full time again, because that's what I did a lot through COVID. I had a business that I ran, and then I traded when I wasn't busy with my business, and then COVID ended, and a lot of the money that the government was handing out to run small businesses and stuff went away. So then I had my problems that I had, and that cost me a whole lot of money. So everything that I'd built up, it was spent on making sure that I stayed alive. Healthcare costs are really expensive. So thank you for everyone tuning on in today. I did want to take a look at the XRP chart because that was asked for. Let's get into that. Let's get over to that screen share. Hopefully you guys enjoy like a Q&A session every day. And we will have JR on tomorrow. He will also be on every Thursday as well. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can plan to see JR on here. We'll have a little more degen segment. And let's get that screen shared. I don't know why it stopped sharing. There we go. Got it all shared again. So XRP was requested. I'm not sure if there was a specific time frame you were wanting to see that XRP chart on. If we have another alt or stock request, go ahead and throw that up there. We see Deborah Saramento in the house. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a great day so far. Let's zoom out this XRP chart. This is here on the daily term time frame. Now you can see a little more of my thought processes here. Let's actually get that zoomed out to the weekly. As you can see, I was looking at a nice constricting price action, got that nice breakout from that constriction, and we've left all of this open here. So zoom this on out. As you can see, you're starting to see a lot of bottoming here on our indicators. Uh, so first reversal signal flashing here on the weekly. You're sitting in the heavy red though here on that prime oscillator. You've got a little bit of a curvature here on your MACD as well. We'll kind of have to see if we can get some bottoming action here. Let's zoom in on that daily time frame as we got some negative news on XRP. Really got that drop down. You can see here I've got some moving averages. I love moving averages. These are simple moving averages. We found some support here at the 800. So 800 moving average seems to be a little bit of a support area on those candle bodies. Really seeing that zero line on our fib extensions come in as our resistance. So very, very tight zone here. And we'll kind of have to see what price how price reacts at both the top side and the bottom side here. Looks like you might get a retest of the bottom side. I see Wix Wi-Fi 89 in the house. Missed out on some of the teaser here. So I will let you know here what we're going to be doing on the power hour. Towards the end of the shows, this is what we'll be doing. A little bit of charting of people's requests. What we just got done with was our Q&A every single day. We will have a little bit of a Q&A session where we will answer questions. Today it's just me, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, JR will be here. Another segment that we do every single day is going to be taking a look at a chart and breaking down the psychology. So tomorrow we will be going over volume and a lot of the things that deal with volume, how volume gets built, why volume gets left. I teased a little bit of that earlier, so hopefully everyone enjoys tomorrow's show. Also, what we went over is building a trade strategy from zero, and then we will also, apparently, because some people would like that, go into using that trade strategy to integrate it in with TradingView using PineScript. AI will help out a lot with that. So if you don't have an AI agent, or you definitely need one. That'll make a lot of the coding a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. I already know a little bit of coding, so if you don't, AI will be extremely helpful in that. So get yourself an AI, and a lot of the free ones, like Grok. Grok does pretty amazing at coding. So if you got Twitter, you got Grok. So you will need that. And then we will use PineScript to trade an indicator, to code an indicator on TradingView so that it will signal to you when your trade strategy is flashing a buy or when it's flashing a sell. And then if you would like, we can create a webhook from TradingView so that it automatically gets entered on your exchange. So that's another thing that we talked about earlier. The other thing that we were going through is breaking down more of the markets. And today was not an in-depth of the psychology, but we went through the market reaction. We talked a little bit about that uh, Asia session into the London session into New York. We'll kind of break down some of the psychology in tomorrow's show of why, because a big part of how I trade is with those kill zones. So ICT is a big part of my strategy, and we will talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. But for now, we are getting into some of these alt requests. I had XRP and Adam requested. We got about 10 minutes and we can get through both of those. Apparently, we want to build that strategy as a scalping strategy. So we had the volume profile and CVD on our indicator list to use to build up our strategy. If Deborah Ciramento or Wick's wife or New Earth Guardian, I don't know if you would throw one out, Furniture Guy as well, if there's any indicators you would like to use to build up this scalping strategy, go ahead, throw those out, and we will start to build that strategy tomorrow when we have JR. So Hopefully you guys enjoy some of that. We will build a few different strategies here on the show. That way you guys have some more tools in your toolbox. We're starting to see just a little bit of bottoming action here on the daily term time frame as well, getting a little bit of curvature. You've got a lack of volume here as well. It is sitting as some sell volume, which is not too unexpected after this harsh sell off. Pretty much what you're looking at across the board here, seeing some sideways momentum on that MACD. We did get that nice little move down to our zero line here on our fib extensions. So let's see what's going on with a fib retracement. Let me get that pulled on up. Let's hide the fib extension and look for a fib retracement level from our lows all the way to our highs there. This is the full move, kind of looking at more of the macro. Also got that golden pocket coming in as a little bit of resistance. So kind of looking to see if we can get that pushback towards the golden pocket as well. Like we said, that's pretty close in line with our zero line on our fib extension levels. So let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at the 4 hour, see what was going on there. Little bit of some iffiness there. We've got our short-term time frame moving average here coming in as the 20 is coming in as a little bit of a resistance level, printing a little bit of a higher low, but also printing that lower high here. We'll kind of have to see if we can get above there to really mitigate this high here, because if we don't, looking like a nice little constriction, and if we were going to continue heating up on these oscillators, looking like you could break down. So keep that in mind. A lot of this higher term time frame, even though it looks a little bottomed, could still have a little bit lower to go. So let's zoom this one on out, see what was going on for that next little support level down here, looking like $1.39 could be that area below us if we don't hold our current range. So let's get that horizontal ray drawn on up here. There we go, $1.35. Let's get that locked so we're not moving it. See if there's another area back here. Looks like there is a quick little area that we could keep our eye on. Looking like this came in as a little bit of resistance, $1.56. Let's see what's going on in that area in our current time frame. $1.51. Looks like that is our nice support. Wow. So that's why his history matters quite a bit there. That was an old resistance level, looking like we're trying to hold it as some support. So the next level to kind of keep your eye on would be down here at that 135 if you're not holding 151. So got a lot of resistance above us as well. We are constricting just a little bit. If we were to break towards the upside out of this constriction, looking back towards the upside would be an area I'd kind of look for. 170, 177 if we can get above the golden pocket. So first resistance area coming in at that golden pocket, about $1.70, and then you could make your way up to $1.77. Keep in mind this is a constriction, and price can really break either way. But if you're extremely overheated on those oscillators, you are more likely to break towards the downside. So we got that little bit of a constriction right there. Let's get the extension all the way to the right. Visibility, nope. Is it? There we go. Wrong one. Extend right. There we go. Get that off. We will extend that out just a little bit there, and then get this one here so that we can see that that is not extended all the way. There we go. Got that too. So this is our constriction area that we kind of want to keep our eye on, see if we're going to break towards the downside or the upside out of this area. Let's get that zoomed on in just a little bit here. You have your hourly also really trying to find our support here. We've done a lot of play with that 20 moving average, simple moving average, but it's looking like you're about to break below your 50. So 50 right here is our red one. We've got our 100 up here. So looking like we're in a tight little range for now. We'll kind of have to see how price reacts at that 20, as you're seeing a little bit of some toppiness, probably going to break below that 50 moving average. It is getting a little bit of some curvature, but your 100 and your 200 are starting on their way towards the downside. So as we're seeing this constriction, probably going to see those moving averages drop down a little bit. Got some buy volume that's holding things up, but you are starting to see some reversal signals at resistance. So not too unexpected there. 15 minutes getting a little bottomy. So you might see that next little break towards the downside here. As you can see, looks like our 300 moving average came in as resistance, also at our resistance area, dropping through all of our moving averages there. Would expect to see a little bit of a push up, and then potentially that continuation back down like we were talking about. That 50 moving average, that is the same thing here on our 15-minute. This is let's see, what moving average is it? That is going to be our 100 there. So 100 moving average looking like your potential support on the shorter term time frame, $1.60. We had Adam requested as well, so let's take a quick look at Adam, see what was going on. No, it didn't get rid of XRP. Let's get Adam pulled up, and then I believe TradeFly is going live here in just a second. Apparently, I don't have that on my lists. So, Adam, let's go to Coinbase, and then let's get that redirect all set up to TradeFly. So, let's see, edit, customization, redirect. TradeFly should be going live here in just a second. There we go. Got that redirect all set up to TradeFly. So I will see y'all in the chats there in just a second. Let's get through this Adam TA real quick, and then we will send you over to TradeFly. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at our daily time frame here. We got a big push towards the downside. Not too unexpected. Pretty much what we've seen across the board on all of these markets. Very close to a strong support level. Uh, uh, that's kind of a worrisome strong support level too. $1.05 looking like our very strong support. We've also got this one right here that we saw our very equal candle bodies at on the weekly time frame, and that's pretty much exactly where we found our support there. So get this one pulled on up. That's $1.86. That is pretty much exactly where we found our support. Let's see. Did it get the redirect all set up? It said that it might not have. Oh, no, it did. Okay. So here we go. $1.86, our strong support for now on the weekly. We are continuing to lose our money flow. Volume starting to pick back up on that sell pressure. So we'll kind of have to see if we continue to have that downside pressure with the volume that would be underneath us. Let's get this zoomed on in. Nice little bounce off of our strong support, right back down to strong support. Seeing it be a little bit weak with the wicking action underneath. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that break back towards the upside though. Let me get that zoomed back out so that we can get a fib pulled on up. We've got our lows to our highs all the way up there. Looking like that is going to be our zero line there. Nice rejection off of our platinum pocket. So running a little bit sideways above our zero line. We'll kind of have to see if on a shorter term time frame we're going to break lower. So let's get a fib retrace, fib extension level pulled on up. Highs to our low to our high. Looking like our 50% line is our support there as well. Nice little confluence that we find. We would kind of have to see with how bottomed we are here on the daily. If we can get a little bit of a bounce back to the 382, let's get this zoomed on in, see what's going on the hourly, because that 4 hour was also a little bit bottomed, but could have a little more to go. Hourly looking a little bit toppy here, and you're starting to lose a little bit of money flow, but your buying volume is picking back up. So could look for a little bit of support area down at your highs from here. See if you can find that resistance as a support to try to get a little bit of a continuation back up towards our resistance up here at about $2.06. I would potentially look a little bit lower if you can't hold $1.86 to about $1.80. Like I was talking about, we have these levels down here. There's not a whole lot of information in between those areas to find some levels at, though. So could be a quick drop to about $1.05. We'd see on a shorter term time frame fib extension from like here to here to here later, where we might find some levels, because it's about time to send you over to TradeFly. Let's see on the 15-minute what we were looking at there. uh, higher high, so higher lows and higher highs. We just have to see if we can continue with that higher low. You are a little bit bottomed here, so potential to go just a little bit lower. We'd have to look at about $1.95 to see if we can find a short-term time frame support, right about there, and make it a little bit thinner. That's where we'd look for a potential bounce here on Atom to see if we can try to make our way back to 206. If not, making our way back towards 186 and potentially to 180 would be the move to watch for. But that's all I got time for today. We will see you tomorrow with JR, the King Degen, and we will be breaking down a lot more of the psychology on liquidity. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's show should be at 1 p.m. though, so keep your eyes tuned for that one. Until next time, trade safe, use some stop losses, and hopefully we can put a few more tools in your toolkit. See you at the next one.